couple questions to know about the new album, because you had this album, The Dream Calls for Blood, has been receiving some good critics and has made the first time in Death Angel's history that you guys cracked the top 100 on the American chart. That is what I saw from Wikipedia.
This is true.
Yes. So what do you guys think about this success?
Well, I mean, we're very happy about it, of course. We've been working very, very hard, very much in the last 4 years since we started with Relentless Retribution, the album before. Been pretty much non-stop. The tour, 3 years, and then right in the studio to do The Dream Calls for Blood. And we went on tour the same week our album came out. We've been on tour since this entire time. So it feels really, really good to see some positive results like that. Of course, definitely.
I mean, we didn't expect it was going to crack Billboard, but we found out when we played Austin, Texas, at the club that is. Texas.
Before that. In Texas.
And it was
while we
nice
were on
surprise.
tour.
Yeah, while we were on tour, it was a nice surprise, and we're happy.
Awesome. Yeah. So we know that you guys worked with this producer, Jason Sukoff, and who is famous for the great work on Trivium, All That Remains. And how was the experience working with him? And was there any argument or disagreement while recording the new album?
Plenty of disagreements and arguments, which is absolutely normal. But we've worked with Jason on, this is our second album that we did with Jason, so we're very familiar with each other at this point. So working with him was, I mean, compared to the first time, it was just as good but better because we knew each other already. So we're already really good friends, and we know how each other works. We knew where we're gonna fight and where we're gonna make love, and so I just think it was great. It's my favorite experience recording so far, to record with Jason and create and make an album with him.
I mean, it's like Jason's like recording at your friend's studio. It felt that comfortable. It wasn't like awkward of this guy and that guy just going in there and just, hey, how you doing? Just let's make a record. So very comfortable.
The Audio Hammer's a very nice professional studio. I mean, that part compared to your friend's studio.
Yeah.
But
the
he's
vibe.
a friend. The
Yeah.
vibe, he's definitely. And another thing, we have even more of a chance to butt heads because I'm co-producing the album with him. So we're like producing it as a team. And so, if you ask me, I mean, you really need to have a really good chemistry with somebody to be productive that way and have a good experience doing something. And fortunately, that's what happens when we work with Jason. At least it happened 2 times so far. So it's good. We're satisfied and happy about the whole process.
Because the new album has some different ideas than the last one, it's the same producer, right? So we really want to know that, who came up with the different ideas. Like, we hear something new, something that maybe, like you said, the chemistry in this new album. But the thing is that the producer for the previous album was the same one, was still Jason.
Yeah.
So is that because you were the co-producer for this new album? That's why you guys have such a special, idea or a special surprise in this new album?
No, I don't think that is so much. I co-produced the other album too. We did both albums like that. But I mean, the difference between the 2 albums mainly is our material. It's what we wrote on the first album, and what we wrote on the second album, where the inspiration comes from, and what lyrics, what vocals, what music, and everything on there. Jason doesn't do. This is written before we get to him. So getting it together, there's similarities in production due to the work with the same producer, but the songs are different. They're, in my opinion, advanced compared to the other album. It's more so the chemistry of the band that on the previous album we were practically a new band again in a way that we had a brand, we had a new drummer and a new bass player. So our rhythm sections never recorded with us or written music, anything with us before. So in that case, we were more so discovering each other as a band again. And then through all the 3 years of touring and then writing the new album, we just became a much tighter unit, like as friends and as musicians and just as a band in a whole. I mean, 3 years of touring, that's it. We were stuck together the whole time. Yeah. We made it through. We're still together and stronger than ever. So that, I think, is all of those reasons is why the second album sounds like the turbocharged version of the first one. Production-wise, then, in that case, it's just that, we just knew what we did before, and it was our direct goal that we were going to outdo the production of the album before it. So when it came to working with Jason, there's differences too. We recorded the drums in a different room. We used different equipment, and some similar, some same equipment, but some different. His studio has been upgraded since we recorded the last album. He did put a lot of work and a lot of money into the studio, so that was improved. And then you just have the idea that we're going to go into it together for the second time. So we weren't just going to repeat ourselves. We knew that we had to do whatever we did before and crush it with the next one, for sure. Like, there was no way that we were going to leave that studio without that happening. So
I think a lot of it has to do, some of it has to do with you. I think you co-produced it way more than any of the albums.
Well, thank you.
I like your answer.
Really?
I'll let Ted say this.
No, it was, Rob had more input, because Relentless, Rob always co-produced all the Death Indie records, but this one, from Relentless to The Dream, Rob got more into Pro Tools. He does all our pre-production in our studio when we record demos. Rob's miking and, recording all the instruments, so when he was way more advanced.
This is true.
Going in with Jason, and he has ideas, and he was bouncing ideas with Jason. And plus, Jason and Rob are from a totally, it's like left and right. Jason's kind of more of the new school, and Rob's more of the old school, so that marriage came together.
I'm pulling the organic
organic
feel. He's pulling the modern.
Yeah, so, I mean, the first time with Relentless, it was so new, like, Rob co-produced, like, okay, just feeling it out. Now that we're so good friends with Jason and we know what buttons to push and what not,
right?
That's when it
You guys
came
are like
together.
a zipper.
Yeah.
We didn't have to waste the time the first time of being more cautious because you don't want to
Yeah.
hurt somebody's feelings, or you're not sure how to say something if you don't like an idea or something. This
Yeah.
time, right away, we just talk immediately. We don't waste any time with wondering if you're gonna feel bummed out if I don't like that idea, or vice versa. So, and actually, I recorded a lot of there's quite a lot of the parts that are on the album that I recorded separately from, like, I recorded some of the stuff in my home studio in Oakland, not in his studio, and then we mixed some of the stuff together. So before the recording and after the recording in Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an advanced production process as well.
Yeah, and you were more involved, more than ever.
Way more.
Way, so.
Thank you. Okay, so from 1991 to 2002, and in which the members were still having some acts. How do you guys really feel about the break, and is it a positive decision when you look at it now?
Well, first of all, I love the description of that we had a short break from 91 to 2002. 11 years.
Wow.
11 years.
Well, because I'm a fresher, and I like you guys' work, and it was really a time that thrash metal was growing, was something. But you guys chose not to do anything about so much about thrash metal.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, it's true. In my eyes, it's true that we were a bit disillusioned with the scene of thrash by that point. After we broke up already, we actually technically broke up at the end of 1990, but we came out and did a handful of shows in Japan. I think in January of '91, but that was post. We already knew we were breaking. We were already broken up, but we just had to fulfill those final shows. So it was kind of a sad moment for us at that time because it wasn't normal. We were just bummed out knowing it was our last shows ever. But after that, to me, I think right around that time, actual genre of thrash metal kind of got a little bit fragmented, right? I mean, when you say somewhere going into the 90s,
Yeah.
metal kind of was evolving to other,
It was
away from
evolving.
thrash.
Yeah. Death metal became really huge around that time.
Right.
Yes.
And the original thrash was kind of like, sort of...
Yeah, like it became groove metal. Or something
Exactly, it
else.
started
Yes.
splintering and stuff. It wasn't pure thrash. Thrash was probably people getting tired of that and looking for some other newer flavor. So that fit with my, at that point in time, our mindset, and after Death Angel broke up, and I saw that was happening in thrash, I just lost interest in where it was going. So personally, for me, it was a time to just check out of that whole world, that whole life that we're living like constantly, non-stop, every day of your life. It was necessary, in my book, to step away, because by the time that we broke up, Death Angel had already recorded 3 albums and been constantly touring and working since we formed in like 82 or 83. So it's been about 8 or 9 years of non-stop work for us who were just kids at that time.
Yes.
We're doing that like starting from 14 or 15 years old
And
until
the drummer
21.
was still 10 years old when
At the
you
beginning.
guys were, yes.
So, he's only 18 years old at that point in time, and he's been doing that from 10 to 18.
Yes.
You miss a lot of other things in your life due to that. You get a lot of experience, very fortunate things to experience at such a young age, touring in the music world and all this stuff. But at the same time, you don't experience other things, and you lose touch with your friends and all kinds of people at home. And so we were just like tired of it by that point. It was like we just did other things, and when we did play music, it wasn't thrash. So that was a good break, because then it gave us a chance to explore things and other kinds of music and other things that we need to get out of our system. So when we did eventually come back together again, we didn't realize it, but we were just missing it so badly. We didn't know it until we played together the first time, and then it was like, oh, where has that been this whole time? It was amazing. It preserved us in a way. If that didn't happen, I don't think we could have just continued all the way through until now. Like that long, we would have just hated each other at some point.
Okay, so we're still gonna keep talking about the old times, because the band name was originally Dark Furry, which you guys.
Whoa!
Yes, you guys.
Whoa!
Tell
Those are
me.
stuff.
Oh boy!
Yes, I told you I'm a thrasher, and
You
and
are.
You guys, I heard that you guys came up with this name from a book.
Which, Death Angel or Dark Fury?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Death Angel was from a book, but
Oh.
what about the
Yeah.
idea of? Yeah, we're actually having a little surprise here. What about Dark Furry? You want to talk about it with us, like?
Well,
Yeah,
there's
Rob, do you want to talk about it with them?
That's all I want to talk about. Well, no, I don't know. Dark Fury. That was that was just that was just us coming up with the most heaviest name we could think of at that point in time.
Okay.
That wasn't Black Sabbath.
Okay.
Something that was going to be like Black Sabbath, but in our own way. And mind you, this is, there was no, at that time, Dark Angel and all these other names. It was like, so Dark Fury was like totally to us, like, and then just after a while, I think we just wanted our name to be even more heavier than that. So we needed our name to be Dark Fury, just wasn't, it needed to be like more wicked. So, yeah, Death Angel, that did the trick for us. And yes, it was from seeing it in a bookstore, just as simple as that.
A book at the bookstore.
Walking
called
through a
Dark
bookstore.
Angel.
Death Angel.
Death Angel. So did you guys?
Like, oh, look at that.
buy-
That's a great band name. Done.
Did you buy it?
No.
So.
I heard the book sucks.
Well, but you used the thing, so I think you should email that guy for, thanking him to come up with this kind of name. All right, so.
Could be. I'll have to see.
Okay. We have some fans that want to know that you guys are on tour a lot, and what is the key to maintain a relationship when you have to see each other, every day and night on and off stage? You have to get along well to play and to be hanging out together after shows.
That's right.
Yeah. So what is the key, and what do you guys
Wow.
usually do when you have an argument?
Drugs and alcohol. No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna delete that.
No, no, a
Delete
lot
that.
What really helps is when the tour is over or when we're not practicing, we go our separate ways.
So,
Space. But you know, when we come on tour, we respect each other's space. We, you know, kind of let everyone do their own thing. Then we come together when we're either before, you know, before we hit the stage and on stage and after stage. And after that, we kind of linger away. You know.
Learning by experience,
Yeah.
really. It's been so long that, you know, we kind of, we're so used to it, we just have it, we have our system down. And yes, pretty much people have to respect one another and realize that people need their space, or something's gonna, arguments will start, stupid things will happen, and it's happened before.
Yeah.
So we try to avoid that by, everyone just has their routine, and still not easy though.
Yeah.
You still have bad days and you're not in the mood for all of this, but you can't, there's no choice, you have no choice. You know, you want a quiet evening after the show, good luck.
Because somebody may not want to quiet.
The other people don't want a quiet evening, and mostly that's what's going on day after day. Mostly people want to hang out and have a rocking time, which is what you're supposed to do. So, you know, you just gotta try to balance it out.
okay, so let's talk about something more pleasant. Can you guys tell us about the music influences for you, both of you?
Oh,
Like, who would
switching
be-
gears.
Yeah. You know, for us, wow, it's a lot.
It's a lot. As a band, we have, you know, common influences, then everyone's got their own individual, very bizarre, if you might put it, like very far away from the kind of music we play. But, you know, everyone has their own, you can tell whose iPod is who. If you pick it up and press play, you'll know whose iPod you're listening to. So, I mean, originally I've got to, you know, pay homage to the gods of rock in general is the first thing that I would think probably got most of us into rock and music, that being AC/DC, Black Sabbath,
Kiss.
Kiss,
Yes,
Led
I love
Zeppelin,
Kiss.
like not even metal so much, but rock,
Yes.
like before we even heard about metal. Then
Scorpions, old Scorpions.
then it starts to evolve into some metal. Scorpions, Judas Priest, Maiden, and a lot of the, you know, new wave of British heavy metal bands, even more underground bands like Tigers of Pantang, and, you know, you're into Saxon and Accept and Motorhead. Starts getting heavier. Punk rock starts coming in there. Start listening to Discharge and GBH, Cro-Mags, DRI, hardcore punk coming around. That's basically what made thrash. The combination of that kind of thing. Rock getting faster and heavier, throwing in attitude and rawness of punk.
Then Metallica comes along.
Yes. And
Changed the
then
game.
Death Angel.
Metallica though was the main that's the main reason how our music went into thrash. From at the very beginning our music was just more like straightforward heavy
Yes,
metal.
like Iron Maiden.
Like Iron Maiden and
Yes,
stuff. We
the
never heard of
first demo.
We never heard of this thrash before.
Yes.
We went and saw Metallica at a club show, and as Mark will say, the next day we came to practice, we knew we had to change. We had to make our songs faster and more aggressive, more parts, more technical. So, you know, that was it. Slayer, Exodus, you know, and then after that, we start branching out again into non-metal music and stuff, looking and exploring for good music in all kinds of genres.
I see. So here comes my last question. So this would be your second time coming to Taiwan. So is there anything specific that you guys want to do, or you want to see, or what do you want to really perform? Like something special besides the songs. Like maybe you guys will want to learn some Chinese on the stage. What surprise you have for us?
Well,
Mark?
we can't say it's a surprise.
Well,
It's a surprise. I mean, as far as the things to see and what we want to do and see, that's more so limited by our insane schedule. We kind of fly in, do the show, and fly out. We want to do and see stuff where we go, you know, but we hardly can because we just play every night. So it's going to be more so us doing and seeing the crowd and the show. and we want to see a crazy, wild, intense show. Last time was though.
Yeah.
Last time was already intense and crazy. So hopefully bigger show, more people.
Yeah, definitely, because I will be there as well.
Hey, all right.
I would like to go for a nice meal.
A nice meal. Like,
A nice meal.
What kind of cuisine do you actually want to have? Like Chinese food or
Really,
Ted just wants a pizza.
really authentic.
Or some good shawarma.
Authentic, you know?
authentic? Okay, well, I will keep that in mind.
I want the experience.
I did have good food there last time. The one thing we did do was go to this like a food court type place. Some friends brought us to a place for lunch, right? You and
You
me went.
and Mark went.
Oh, us went. Yes, that's right. There's Mark.
Hi.
And did bring us to some quite authentic like a food court area with a lot of different choices and stuff, and we had some really nice soup and some really good food. It was
We had really good dinner the night before, the night you went to.
Oh yeah, we went
That's
to this nice
right.
restaurant. Yes,
Okay.
good food.
Yeah.
All we have time for is
Yeah.
good food and a killer show.
That would be no problems. You guys would take care of the killer show, and I'll take care of the food.
Hey, teamwork.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank
You
you so
take care
much.
of the energy from the crowd.